Just give you guys notice. Notice is important. Why? Because if you don't have a notice, what do you know? You know nothing. So you got to have notice. Anyway, tonight I have two guests that are going to be with us tonight. I have Kurt McLean. He's going to be on the call tonight. Like I said, these are people that have done this process. Okay. And this is the waking up process. And those of you that are guys trying to join, let's see, yeah, I'm already in the call, so I can't really do anything here. But anyway, there's somebody's trying to get in, but they're texting me, but we can't. We've already started. So I only got two hands, couple of screens here, and that's it. And 3 chords in the truth. Anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about the frauds. We're going to be talking about lots of stuff tonight. And I'm going to tell you, Kurt and I have seen, and there's others that are going to be on the call tonight. I'm hoping we'll have some other folks on the call tonight as well. But we've all seen a lot of these teachers come and go. We've seen these people that were brave enough to make a stand. They really were. I mean, if you want to just give them credit where credit is due, I mean, they took a stand. Okay. And I got to give them credit for that. But here's the deal. You can have the right law and the wrong procedure. And that could really, really make your life difficult. And that happens a lot. I'm going to say that again. You could have the right law and the wrong procedure, i.e., the guys walking around with the $35 plate club, those guys that are getting those stupid plates. See, we've seen all this stuff happen. Kurt, me, and Brian Parker will probably be on the call tonight as well. We've all been digging around in this stuff, trying to figure all this stuff out since 2015 or so. And I have to tell you that, we're still here, aren't we, Kurt? And we're both here. And, believe me, I've been tested. My ship has been tested. You guys can Google my name, Timothy Damron. You can Google it. It's all over the place, man. You can see everywhere I've been. And so tonight, the reason that we're doing this is not to hurt anybody, because that's the last thing we want to do. We want to hurt anybody at all. What we want to do is we want to provide clear, concise information. And not only that, but if any of you guys have questions during the live call or even afterwards, out in Facebook land, if you guys have questions about what's going on and what we're doing, you know what? Hit me up. Okay. I mean, there's Messenger. There's those of you guys in Uber conference or over in Dialpad land. Sorry, it used to be Uber conference. It's not Uber. It's Dialpad now. I think that whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, those of you guys that are in that, I mean, we can talk. Okay. We want to make sure that you're on the right track. I want to make sure you're on the right track. It's important because the more people that are on the right track, the more success we're going to have as a country. The sovereignty of this country is not held in a box. It's not held with Joe Biden and his stupid signature. No. The sovereignty of the United States is held within its people. All of you. Me too. Despite a popular belief, right? Yeah. So that means that that's an opportunity for you to do something, for you to learn, or you can go back to sleep. And so we're going to talk about, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some of these kind of people that really are kind of, I think I lined it out best when I said that they're kind of like those people. I wish Kurt was back here. I don't know where he went, but anyway, he'll be back. It reminds me of those people that you see like in front of the subdivisions on a new subdivision, and they're over there and they're waving the signs and flipping the signs and they're this and that and this and that. I mean, if you stopped and asked them, I'd like to get some more information or some floor plans or something, that's not going to happen. Why? Because he's just a messenger. He doesn't know anything about building those houses, because if he did, that's what he'd be doing. He wouldn't be waving the sign, you see. And so I had the pleasure of meeting some really unique folks. Very, very just incredible potential. Very smart, sharp, but young in this walk, and eager, lacking a lot of self-control. I know it's starting to sound like a Star Wars movie. I'm not trying to go there, really not. But I had the opportunity to meet these folks. I had just It was nice to meet people that just have the same vision and the same path of walking like a man, walking like a woman, and walking under Yah's authority and the authority of the land, and using that common law properly. That's important. That's really important. That's something that isn't taught in schools anymore. Was it ever taught in school? I don't know, man. Maybe, probably, but I think it was probably taught at home, and we got to get back to that. You know, they say that, and I'm just stalling because I'm waiting for Kurt to get back on here. But they say that you know, we've got over 1.2 million children missing from the school systems this year. 1.2 million children missing. It's not off topic. I promise it's not. So what does that mean? Well, that means no, not necessarily. They didn't necessarily. No, they didn't get carted out. Okay, here comes Kurt. But they didn't get carted out or anything like that. It was nothing like that. Okay. What happened is that parents, because of the pandemic and because of they got in love with teaching their children again. I'm going to mute you, Kurt, just for now. Just hang in there. Anyway, and so as a result of that, and because these parents have taken this step up and they've learned how to teach their kids stuff and teach their kids how to be successful in school, because what happened? Somebody screamed COVID and you need a shot, and all of a sudden everybody's wearing diapers on their faces and your kids don't get an education. But guess what? They didn't have any problem collecting those tax dollars, did they? Yeah, that's called not giving you proper consideration. And so I think that people really woke up to that and were, hold on a second. I think people really woke up to that. And I think people really got convicted by that and said, you know what? I think we want to take that control back. And as a result, over 1.2 million children did not go back to public school this year. That means something's changing. That means you better start doing some changing. Yeah. Don't look around and act like you don't know nothing's going on, because you know it is. We all know it is. And tonight, I want to talk to you guys about these sign throwers, okay? I'm telling you about these folks that I met, and I taught a class to them. And by the way, we do have a travel class coming up next month, but we'll go into that towards the end of the call tonight. That's not that important right now. Tonight, I want to really talk more about this other stuff. But and Kurt looks like he's back with us today, so I'm going to introduce Kurt. This is Kurt McLean. Welcome to the call, Kurt. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you know, we've just been seeing a lot of teachers over kind of the last 6-7 years now. And where do you think? I mean, every time I see them, they're usually, you know, God bless them for standing up, okay? But stand up and do it the right way. You know, get all your marbles together and disappear. One of the things I think these teachers are missing is they always tell people, oh, you need to go disappear into the public, into the private, right? But then they tell you to do something that makes you stick completely out in the public. But it's notice. No, it's you sticking out in the public. And you can't get private and do that at the same time. Right, Kurt? I mean, I can't. You know, we did the blue plates together. We both had them. You had them. I had them. We had these. Remember these? We had them on our cars. We did them. And they're legit. I mean, yeah, the numbers come back to us. They came back to our property and everything else. We did it all the right way. But what we really learned from it is that once we did the other paperwork, when we did the other paperwork, that was the paperwork that saved our butts. These plates didn't have anything to do with that, other than they would draw attention, and you know, maybe some dumb cop would run the plate just for the heck of it and go, "Oh snap, we better leave these people alone." That's what you get when you come to my class. Okay. I don't know about these. What are your thoughts on these state nationals, Kurt? That's like a big thing now. That's like a new thing. Is it like He-Man, or I mean, what is it? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's kind of hard to say, but I mean, as far as interactions go with authority and things like that, I mean, that and $1.50 will get you a cup of coffee.
Well, I mean, I see the YouTube videos. I mean, I see them, doing their thing like on the YouTube videos, and they always have some slick, stupid stuff to say. One of the things that you'll hear David Straight say, and I was listening to one of his videos, and what really honestly, we're gonna do one of these teardown videos and like start, stop, and break this whole thing down, and we'll show you. But I'll give you just a spill. Okay, if you listen to one of his little videos where he's wearing that little khaki shirt, it looks like the ones that federal prisoners wear, when they're in the camp for snitching. Anyway, he's wearing snitching colors. Anyway, if people were locked up, that's what they would say about that. But anyway, he's doing his little spill and he's telling you how he's a rancher and he's got property in Utah, I think, or something like that. I think that's what we heard on the video. We all did, because we all watched it a few weeks ago on here, a month or two ago, actually. And it was actually when I was thinking that we might have some truth about this guy. I thought there was some truth about this guy. I thought, oh snap, this dude's on it. But here's what killed it for me is these little stupid funny sayings that they tell people, and it's a blessing and a curse all at the same time. Why? Because you don't know what you're saying. So what is he saying? It's what he says, Kurt. Some funny stuff. He goes, so you're going to go into court with your ticket or whatever you're doing, right? And this is his grandstand way to get this done. We're going to go into court and you're going to tell him that you're appearing by a special divine appearance and you're challenging the jurisdiction of the court and you would like a trial by jury. This is all in the same breath. And I mean, let's just stop right there because there's more BS that goes with that. Okay. So number one, in Texas, you don't have to walk in with this divine special appearance stuff. They actually have this rule. It's 120A. And you can appear under special appearance. So you don't have to go in there and make up all this black magic and show up, David. It's not how it works, dude. But anyway, if you do look it up, it's rule 120A. And being that you're here in Texas now, when you should be on your happy little ranch somewhere, which I don't think you really have one, but whatever. Because if you had one, you wouldn't be, God, whatever. Anyway, or maybe they ran you off your ranch. I don't know. These things happen, I don't know. But anyway, Shelby. Stop it. It's my dog. Anyway, so he's telling people that when you make a special appearance, you're challenging the court's jurisdiction. And then the next breath, he says, you want a trial by jury. Okay. So, or jury by trial, whatever. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is that he's going in two different directions. So if you're saying that you're appearing by special appearance, you're asking for a dismissal. So to ask for a dismissal, right, Kurt, and then to ask for a jury trial is like reusing your toilet paper. You could sell that, right? I would say it's like reusing your toilet paper. It's not going to get the job done. I'll spare you the details. It's just not going to get it done. So I think that when you're listening to these teachers that are out there, listen to their processes. And most importantly, if they have a court case and they say they've done something, Google them. Hey guys, welcome to the call, everyone. Send y'all some waves. So anyway, this Google them. You just type their name in Google and you won't see nothing. You'll see everything on his wife. His wife, oh yeah, man. She's got it going on. I looked her up. She's done some pretty heavy hitting. But you know what? All that heavy hitting is all politics. It's all political. It doesn't work for you and me, okay? It works when you hire attorneys and they go in and they put up all the things that they do. Okay? That's when things start working because you have to convince this temple to go to work for you, right? I mean, because that's what they are, Kurt. I mean, they're a temple, right? And so to make these people go to church, to make these people do something for you, they typically want a tithe or a church membership. They want something, right? And I think that's just one of those necessary things. Hey, Mike, welcome to the call, man. So glad you're here. Anyway, and so what do you have when you have somebody like this? You have somebody that's really dangerous. And here's why. No matter what I said about disproving what this moron is teaching, because he doesn't teach the whole process. He shows you just enough to get you into trouble. Okay. And I think, and we've been down this road. Kurt and I have definitely been down this road together, man. We have knocked over, no, we didn't knock over any banks, but like we've gone into banks and asked a lot of questions, and then they asked us to leave. And that's happened, right? I mean, that's happened. And it's because of these people that are gurus like this moron. You know, they'll cook up stuff in their living room, and then they come up with something, and then they just have court, and then they just go send the minions out to go do it and see what happens. Man, that is taking advantage of people. I think that's just like cattle, you know, abusing people, you know. And I, you know, and my heart goes out really to Kayla Fitz. You know, I'm going to tell you, you know, you guys remember a while back, you know, she told us everything. She told us that, you know, all this stuff that he gave her, left her in jail for 6 months, didn't do anything for her, nothing. And she took all of his classes. I mean, I don't even think she took, well, I don't know about their phone call situation. I'm just going to just not even speculate. That's not even right to do. So, but what I am saying is that this, when it was time, so let me just say this. When, and I think Kurt and I can both agree on this. When you do this walk, you're going to be tested. Somebody's going to test you. And they're going to see if you could, right? You know, I mean, Kurt got it, right? You got to tell us you got arrested for doing nothing.
Well, yeah, pretty much, man. Well, I signed the paperwork the wrong way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was a ticket situation. He didn't want to sign it. And quite frankly, we didn't want to get it. So, and this dude just went absolutely nuts on us. What a weirdo, man. He looked like Cartman with a badge. Like a grown-up version of Cartman. If I ever see that dude in the public, I swear, I hope Yah would control my tongue.
Respect my authority.
I know, right? Yeah, he was really up and out. I don't want to hear nothing about that stuff. I want to hear a license or nothing else. And then he was just having it, man. He was just, God. I was like, dude, we don't have a license.
Are you a sovereign citizen?
No. But we know a few. You know, but let's go, you know, so anyway, I want to talk about this professional student. You know, my wife brought this to my attention. And you know, prospectively, I never really thought about this before, but she goes, what they are is these folks that we were talking about, you know, because that's just what we do all the time. I'm just kidding. We don't. But it was the students, actually. And my wife said, you know, these are what you call professional students. Because they'll always claim to be educators, but they never learn anything, and they never put anything into practice, and they never, ever do it. Those of you guys on the Freedom Train, on the Freedom page, if you're not happy in your walk and you have questions, ask them. Don't write me 5 years later and tell me that David saved you when you never even reach out to ask. What do you do? Call Miss Cleo and send a vet to your house? I don't even know how that even works. But anyway, I got a comment about that. Oh, well, David Straight saved me. And this was somebody that had been a member since 2017. And you know, absolutely never posted anything to the Freedom page, which is the whole point of having the Freedom page, is so people could ask questions and help each other. And we've been doing it now for 7 years. Now, there's a claim out there that these yoo-hoos or these professional students that just replay everything he says, no matter what. And these people that are doing this, they state that he has been teaching for 35 years. I think that's absolutely false. If he's been teaching for 35 years, we would have known who he was. You know, like, you remember that Ronnie guy? Remember the Ronnie guy? His name was Ronnie something or another. He looked like kind of like a meth head or something. He was a crazy dude, and he would stay up all night. I guess they'd tweak all night or something. I don't know, but anyway, his heart was in the right place. Okay, regardless of his drug habits and so forth. But do you remember him? He would call these. He would call these moms and deal with CPS and yell at them on the phone and make all these promises and go appear in court and all kinds of crazy stuff. Remember that guy? His name was Ronnie, kind of really intense dude. You guys might have remembered him. He's gone. Gone. Like, we don't even know where he is. Facebook disappeared. prepared. And then I can tell you, there's been so many of them. I don't know, Kurt. Who can you think of from back in the day? Hollenbach? What was his name? Kurt Hollenbach?
I vaguely remember that name.
Yeah, that sounds familiar, right?
Yeah. What was the guy? I always kind of wondered just how much truth there was to it. What's the one with the David Windmiller syntax error stuff? I still haven't found any answers to that syntax business. I don't know if he was legit, but he said some other things that really kind of threw me for a loop.
Well,
But,
and I don't think he's around anymore either.
well, no, he's allegedly dead, but he's definitely gone.
Yeah, okay. And what was that other one that died too? What was his name? That was the dude that would talk rude to everybody. Remember him? He sounded like an angry cigarette smoker. Yeah, the guy that died. No, the other guy that died. What was his name? And they opened up a little university for him and all kinds of stupid stuff after that. You remember that? Anybody out there? Come on.
Can't remember his name.
You guys know who I'm talking about. Anybody, star to unmute. Help me. I'm sinking. I should have wrote it down and made notes. Shoot, what was that guy's name? Can't think of his name. I cannot think of his name. It's probably not. Probably just as good. Anyway, he's allegedly dead, and that was another guy that taught a lot of processes, but he'd never follow through with them. You would never get like the whole story. Like he would tell something, like he was sending people down to go buy cars. Remember, with 1099s and going to the banks and getting them and trying to get them to securitize the contract and deposit it into your checking account. Not gonna happen. Yeah, I remember that guy. And and all those guys just come and go and come and go. And I'm gonna tell you this: the David Straight kind of group kind of scares me a little bit, because those students I was telling you about, they, after taking my class, having their eyes open, they were blown away. And the next day, it was like somebody stuck them in the back with a voodoo doll or something. They were like, "Oh no, we're selling everything we're having. We're selling everything we have, and we're moving up there." And I'm like, so drastic. You know what I mean? And so, and then, when Kayla was on here, and I love Kayla, by the way, love her to death. I was ready to put that one on Facebook and put it on YouTube. And she called me the next day and said, "You know what? Don't do that. I don't want to say anything bad about David." I mean, 6 months in jail. I think I could say a little something bad about that. I'd be a little disappointed. Yeah. Well, and I'm going to tell you, Kurt, it was funny. Tori just said this. TikTok is flooded with Anna and David followers. I'm going to tell you, Anna and David are both of the same. They're the same. They're the same demon. They're both a fraud. Anna Von Wright says that she is she says she's a judge, right? Okay. To be a judge in this country, to be a judge in any country, you have to have a bond filed in case you say something wrong or do something wrong, because you can't be held accountable in your person while being in your office at the same time. Okay. So while being under that oath of office that she's taken, it's I don't know, Kurt, what do you think? It's like the dress up cops and robbers thing, right? With them.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, most of the law is all in the make stuff up as you go along jurisdiction as it is. But I guess when you make up your own jurisdiction, you could be whatever, king of the elves. I don't know. You could be whatever you want to be.
So do you remember those constitutional marshals from Anna Von Wright's gig? Do you remember that? A while back. And they all went to Albuquerque. You guys can Google this, by the way. And they all went to Albuquerque and tried to break that moron out of jail with their little fake guns. Well, no, they had real guns, but they had fake badges and real bullets and no sense. And out they went. And then what was Anna's other one? That other dude that was in Colorado. Remember, he was doing that thing, and he was the constitutional marshal. Remember that weirdo's name?
Yeah, I vaguely remember. I don't remember his name. I can't keep track of them all.
But he's in prison. I know that. I know he's in prison in Colorado, and we won't see him again. So what? My point is that I mean, we got to weigh this stuff, and you've got to be really careful because there's people out there that just want to see you run around in circles, literally. Wouldn't you agree? I think with
Yeah.
a lot of the teachers we saw, that's kind of what I saw. I remember when Heather Tucci came out. Remember when they were talking about using everybody's social security numbers and the little red number on the back, and just hacking into stuff. Do you remember that? And everybody lost their Amazon accounts in the nation. Like a third of them. That's it. You're done. You're part of that group. Well, this David Straight guy is kind of doing the same thing. And, one of the differences, and now he claims to be with Trump. He claims to be all with him, and because he has one letter, not phone calls, not a lunch date, pictures at the golf course together, nothing like that. We just have a letter. And anyway, so and Anna does that same kind of. Anna has the same MO. I see Anna Von, right? Big chicken. Anyway, she has the same MO because she does the same thing. She puts herself in that political, area like Heather Tucci tried to do. Remember, she was running off to the White House and trying to crash those dinners and stuff. Remember that? Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. And I mean, and how many people went down for that? I mean, I can say I know at least 4 or 5 people that really got into serious trouble over that. You? Do you know anybody that really took a pretty hard hit on any of that stuff?
Personally, no.
Welcome to the call. Welcome to the call. Well, I tell you, I had the unfortunate thing in doing it. Another thing that's popular right now that's running around TikTok, and you guys need to be careful, is the whole the 1099 thing. Guys, it's a big world, man. It's a huge, big world. You're not going to get it in 5 seconds in a typewriter and just start whipping those things down. There's just lots of pitfalls, lots of things there. And I'm not telling you shouldn't learn about it. I'm telling you need to learn about it because there's lots of pitfalls and lots of things out there. And here's the thing: if you want to learn something from somebody, I go to somebody that's done it, right? If I wanted to learn how to work on my Mercedes, I would go not to the Ford store and go check out an F-150 mechanic. I go to the Mercedes store, check out a Mercedes because that's what I got, and that's what you got to do. We got to do the same thing, when we see these things, right? I mean, it's crazy. I think it's nuts how we adopt these philosophies because they sound so good. And it's sad. It's sad to see people losing their families. It's sad more than anything else to see these people continuing to do this. David Straight, the rancher from Utah or wherever he's from, Old Bend, Utah, is actually outside of Dallas, Texas right now with a group of his people, and they're organizing weekly. That's a problem. Because they're trying to do something more political. And kind of what we saw at the in the Capitol, when everything got stormed and Nancy's office got all done and all that stuff happened. Okay, I know. I don't believe all of it either. I think there probably is not quite all the truth being told, and there never really is. But let's just go with the cover story. I think that's the mayhem he's really shooting for, Kurt. Honestly, because the way that these guys are just like, they're just brainwashed. It was like the next day, oh no, we can't say anything bad about it. Like, don't you do that? I mean, that's some crazy stuff, man. What are your thoughts on that, Kurt? I mean, I don't think I've seen anybody like this rise up before.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds cultish to me. I mean,
Right?
if you can't say anything negative about their leader, and they start flocking together on a property, and I don't know, next thing you know, yeah, it's going to be like that. What's that family of ranchers?
Oh
The one
yeah.
they eventually shot the guy.
Yeah, the Bundys out
Yeah,
there.
the Bundys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's some crazy stuff, you know. I mean, you know, my thoughts are is that, well, number one, the getting out process and all that stuff. I learned it, and we've done it. We've all done it. Kurt's done it. I've done it, and we're out. But what are you gonna do when you get out? What's the plan then? How do you live? How do you survive? Right, Kurt? Because they don't tell you that, do they?
Nope, they sure don't.
No, just teach you how to unplug from everything, screw yourself out of everything, and then go sit on a rock by yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where a lot of these people, when the sun starts shining on all of this, and people start waking up to this, and they start realizing that they don't have any more money, and that they put everything on black and it landed on red. I think we're going to see a lot of kickback. I think we're going to see some things, and we need to be ready for it in the communities. This is here in Texas. This is right here. And those of you guys in Oklahoma, he's North Texas. He's in your backyard in 40 minutes. Okay, he's over the border. He's in Lawton, Oklahoma, in 40 minutes from where he is. And that's and he's getting popular. He's getting very popular. He's explaining a lot of stuff, but he's talking more about historical things and stuff like that. And he doesn't really talk about too much of any equity. It's all grandstanding and rights and stuff like that. That's what I'm seeing more than anything else. Well, because he doesn't know any processes. So, I've heard his ticket process. Have you heard his ticket process? Oh, you just send it back to him. Just send it.
That's it.
And that's it. You just send it back to him.
Oh man.
And then you show up. Because that made sense. And then you show up, and then you go through that whole spiel, and you want to try to get a trial by jury or a jury by trial while trying to get something dismissed in a little bitty ticket court that doesn't do jury trials.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, man. We're losing. And we're losing our people every day because of idiots like this, because of professional students that know everything that has to be said. And you know what? I used to have them too. I had professional students that would show up, take every single class. They were there, remember? And I would just tell them at the end, you know what? Stop taking my classes. If you don't want to do this, and you just want to be here with the pom-poms, and you want to quote me, and you want to do this and that, I'm not looking for that. It's not what I want. I want students. I want people that want to learn. And I want people that are committed to doing this and don't have blinders on, that are ready to walk out, ready to be insulted. Let me tell you something. You take this walk, right, Kurt? You're going to be insulted.
Yep.
Your family's going to, you know what you brought up to believe, you're going to feel insulted because everybody lied to you. Right, Kurt? Whether they meant to or not.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do then? Put it back together. You put substance in your life. You make it make sense. Stop living in other people's living rooms on calls all night long, getting nothing done. And you start putting your face and your feet forward. That's how you get it.
Were we out of milk already?
Always on milk.
Okay.
But that's how you get there. That's how you get there. You get there by, focusing and getting the right things done and making sure you're not wasting your time in somebody else's camp. I mean, I think we saw it, Kurt. You and I did. We looked at that whole take yourself to the probate court, kill yourself off over there, and then stand there and tell the judge that you're dead while you can fog a mirror. Now, I think the zombies are coming back. Don't get me wrong. They're coming back, but not like that. Not like that. This is not going to happen. And I remember that stuff. So, guys, I'm going to tell you, all of us, there's a lot of people out there to trip you up. what's her name? The Von Wright gal. Anna Von Wright is she's allowed to do what she's doing because she's here to trip you guys up. She's here to organize you all, make you work. And by the way, I saw one of those fake badges yesterday. So apparently we've started that nonsense up again. It's a concierge badge. Next thing you know, they're going to be walking around like militias trying to round up grasshoppers or something. It's just going to be stupid. And here's the deal, guys. I think Kurt and we could probably both agree on this. The system doesn't work. The system is broken. It doesn't work for us. So creating the same system is just going to create double the problems, not fix any problems. And I think that's the problem you have with these constitutional marshals or whatever. Hey, you know what? Again, sovereignty is held within the people. You don't need all that. You could just be you. That's all you have to do. Welcome to the call, everyone. That's all you have to do is be you and be what Yah has expected you to be. And by living accordingly and living under his cover, wherever you're missing and whatever you're missing, he's going to provide it. And you know, my good friend Kurt here, it's exactly what he did. When the whole world fell apart for me, Kurt came in there and saved the day, moved me into his house, took care of me, took care of my family. Whatever we needed, he wrote the check. Without it, just without nothing. Of course, like after like the third time, he was like, you know, Tim, this is it. I had to give him a really big hug and I said, I promise I won't do it again. You get it, right? He goes, I get it, dude, but it just is what it is. So when you take this walk, okay, be ready to be ridiculed. Be ready. The word says, if you take this walk, you're going to be ridiculed. There is no way to take this walk without taking your creator with them, because if you don't, you're not going to have a standard of absolute truth. And unfortunately, I think that's what my students, the ones, the David's people, they were really offended with the whole religious thing, and they felt like I was demeaning their religion. I didn't lie to you. Your parents did. The Pope did. Those TV preachers lied to you. I didn't do that. Don't blame that on me. We're here to tell the truth. So, you know, that's what we do. And shalom, brother. Shalom. Welcome to the call. I'm glad you're here. This is a very cool call, man. What we do is we obviously have our nonprofit, and we reach out to folks and we spread knowledge. But the big thing we want to do is we want to point out these folks that are pretty much setting you up to fail. What was the Stop the Pirates guy? John Anderson. Remember him?
Oh, I remember that title. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, if you guys look online, you guys can go check it out. He's got this whole traveling theory nonsense. Anyway, and you can go look that up too. But if you read real closely, after you pay the $64, because I did, I know you did too. And if you guys want it, let me know. I'll give it to you for free. But when you read through his paperwork, thank Yah that they actually have templates. Those are templates that you can fill out, because when you start reading it, you're going to see that there's language in there that says, I admit I'm a sovereign citizen, like right off the bat. And that's in there. That's in that paperwork. So understand that these teachers, they're not here to help you, man. They're here to confuse you. They're going to show you a little bit of truth and you just blow your mind and then just make you stupid. And it happens, you know, Derek Gonzalez, right? You guys remember him? You remember him? Grandstanding and showing up in court and recording and doing all this stuff and talking about all this, back of the house stuff in the front of the house. It's just not appropriate. Oh, but we're supposed to be private, right, Kurt?
Yeah.
How are you private when you're doing this kind of shit? Excuse my language, sorry. I mean, how are you private when you do that kind of stuff? You're not. You're quite the opposite. You're in the public. Hello. And if you're on Facebook, you're certainly not in the private, right?
Nope.
You know, or you're not operating in the private. Let me rephrase that, because I'm on Facebook, but you guys, I'm not putting all my business out here on Facebook either. You don't know what court cases I appeared for today. And I did. I actually appeared for a court case today. In Pennsylvania, mind you. That's right. But you know what? My business isn't all out here because it's private. And that part is just off limits. And so when you have somebody, you know, my dad used to tell me, My real father. He used to tell me that somebody that puts their business out in the street has no business at all. And I kind of have to agree. These marshals. Guys, if you see these people with marshals and little fake badges, and we're gonna go rebuild the constant. We're gonna rebuild the. What are they trying to rebuild again? I don't know. You're trying to rebuild something that's not there. You know what? I God bless you for doing it, but man, do it honorably and do it right, and don't lie to people. Don't tell people that you're hanging out with Donald Trump when you don't know who he is, right, Kurt? I mean, that's just stupid. And I think, Chad hasn't made it on the call, but one of the things that Chad really brought up that really, really irked me is the hold on a second. Somebody said common law courts. You know what, guys, gals, people, if you want common law courts, stop putting these people into office. And when they do get into office, you do the appropriate paperwork and you get them the F out. You file charges on them. You follow through. You do what you have to do. If you want your common law courts back, somebody just brought that up, and and you know what, and I'm really glad you did, because that's key. If you want your common law courts back, then you need to get back. Then you need to get involved. And when you see something that is not okay, you need to say something. But you need to do it the right way. Not like that Ronnie guy did. He used to come up with his shirt off and his muscles all out and everything and all, and people would just like, whoa, okay. And he was intense, man. That guy was really intense. But, those kinds of people burn out really fast. Brian Parker says they were lucky New Mexico didn't arrest them 4 years ago. Oh, wow. Are you serious? 4 years ago? Again? Come on, Brian. Come on the call. 1-888-570-7020. Oh, please. I got to know about this, man. That's like the other half. I'm going to tell you, that relationship really put a strain on Brian Parker and I, because we're good friends, and that really put a strain on us. So knowing that is what it is. Come on, Brian. Don't be holding back on us now. Or do hit the little thing and I'll bring you on. I'll bring you here on Facebook land. It's fine. If you don't mind. Did you trim your eyebrows? I did. Just kidding. I didn't trim them. They came this way. Anyway, so like I said, I just think there's so many false teachers out there, and they're just doing this stuff wrong. They're not following through. I think, a lot of, and I say this often, they'll tell you that they have 5 pounds of truth, but at the end of the day, it's like you got like this little that's what you got. We're just sitting on the phone, and we've done it. Kurt and I have done it together, and it's just stupid. I mean, it's, I remember when we first started doing the calls back in 2016, 17. They would go 3 and 4 hours. Do you remember that? And I mean, dude, I just I was, oh man, I had to stop. You guys are just too much. And we had a lot of professional students. And I'm glad all those professional students have gone away. And those of you that I haven't found or got rid of yet or purged out of the Freedom page, repent, or you will get purged. Because if I find out, you're done, gone. And we don't want that. We don't want dead trees around us. We want people that are growing, people that are doing and manicuring themselves and getting themselves right. It's what it takes, man. It's what it takes. And can I tell you what all of this is? You sent it. Where'd you send it? How'd you send the request? Hold on. He said he sent the request. Hold on. I'm going to do some high-tech computer stuff here. Hold on. See if it works. Let's see. Bring a Parker on a camera. Here he is. I've added. Oh, wow. Look, I did it without a teenager. I'm impressed. Wait a minute. He's not on yet. Let's see if it works. Right now, it's just. There he is. The man, the legend. How are you doing? The best mustache in America. Right there, Brian Parker. What's happening, brother? So good to see you, my friend. So tell me about this. What happened with the whole...
Well, that was right down towards the end of the situation where people were staying with you. and they went and they were going to bust. They're going to bust DW, I think, out of jail in New Mexico.
Yes.
And they showed up, I think, with like a rental vehicle, and it wasn't even the right kind of vehicle that the real U.S. Marshal would be using or anything like that. And, you know, they had their fake badges and all that kind of stuff, and they didn't even know the protocol. They didn't know what bay door they were supposed to go to or anything like that. And they got called out on it.
Wow.
And, I mean, they really were so lucky they didn't get arrested for impersonating a federal officer right there.
Well, they had paperwork with them too, didn't they? Didn't they have some paperwork they made up?
Yeah, I'm sure they had all their own homemade paperwork and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Basic seals they downloaded from the internet or something like that. But I mean, that's serious stuff there.
Yeah.
You know, and that takes some balls, but you know, it's just, I don't know, definitely playing above your head. Maybe they weren't.
That's kind of what I'm seeing going on here in Texas, is that I'm seeing that the David Straight is kind of organizing his people, and he's putting some kind of something on them. Because like I said, they, you know, you tell them and you'll tell them what's up and you tell them what's happening, and the next day it's like, you know, somebody stuck a pin in their back and they, oh no, we can't say anything and please don't publish that. You know, and I had Kayla Fitz on the call. She was like, don't publish it. Don't put that out there, because I know what he did, but it's okay because blah, blah, blah. No, whatever. No.
I'll tell you what the situation is from what I see it is that there's a lot of people out there, and actually let me digress for a second.
Okay.
Because we talk about how uneducated and misled the educational system has been, right?
Right.
And that's very, very true. I mean, I'm a firm believer that even by the time you graduate from high school, you should be able to know how to file a case. You should be able to know how to defend yourself. You should fully know how to do your own taxes without going to H&R Block, all that kind of stuff.
Right. Sure.
But when you raise a bunch of people that have absolutely no clue with what is going on in the system, they don't even understand civics. You know what I mean? They're going to latch on to the Reed's Craft, and they're going to latch on to the Straights and stuff like that. And they're going to believe whatever they're told, because they haven't gone out and done their own independent study. Because number one, you are responsible for your own education. Nobody else is.
Right.
But when the system has just totally snowed you as to how things really work, guess what? You're going to be very likely to believe anything that comes down the pipe. And that's exactly what happens. If people don't even stop and use their own common sense. You know, when somebody says that they're flying into the hills of Arkansas in a C-130 and grabbing a pedophile and taking him to Gitmo, I mean, come on, you should be using your common sense a little bit. You know, a C for a C-130 means cargo plane. Those are big, cumbersome planes for loading cargo and transporting cargo. You aren't going to be flying into the hills anywhere in Arkansas in a C-130. And you're definitely not going to do it to capture one pedophile, and you're definitely not going to be taking them to Gitmo. And Gitmo is where they're taking the people in the Middle East.
Right.
I recommend people go listen to the last 3 episodes on the Concrete broadcast channel. That will really open your eyes.
Okay. Right on. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I don't know, man. It's just, you know, when people do drastic things like that and they decide just to pull up and go and like, we need to follow this guy. And I listened to some of his meetings. He's less, he's more politically driven than he is sovereign driven. Like correcting your status and all that. He seems to be really moving away from that, obviously, because he doesn't know what he's doing. And people are getting into trouble. So he's moving and kind of, I guess, absorbing himself into some political genre that he's really not invited to. Like we were saying, one letter doesn't, big deal. I mean, I got letters too. I got a whole office full of letters. I mean, you know, that doesn't mean, you know, I got letters from the electric company. It doesn't mean they're going to show up and rally for my next whatever, you know, root canal or something. You know, and that's what really scares me and spooks me about this guy. Because like you were saying, he was in, or Chad was saying, he just texted me he's being held late at work. So he's probably be on next week's call. I don't know. or he'll show up. But you know, Chad was telling me that the stolen valor thing was really a big deal, and that really set him off. And then after that, of course, you know, it's hard to believe anybody once somebody goes there, because that's like, why would you go there? You know,
That's exactly what I asked somebody, because I had somebody that was saying to me, well, at least he's sharing some good information. Well, myself, I don't know what good information it is he's sharing, but even if you want to say some of it's good, that how can you accept anybody who, you know, is involved with stolen valor? I mean, that's just above and beyond. And myself, I don't even know why you would want to claim being part of the operations of the USA. The things that they've done, the things that they've done overseas, and, you know, the bloodshed basically worldwide. Why would you want to link yourself to that? If anything, you know, you should be getting on your knees and repenting for any participation in that.
right? I mean, I would feel awful. And I mean, and again, that comes down to, you know, well, let's just say that I grew up in kind of a special, rough kind of neighborhood family. Let's just say that. And I knew people that were talking it, and I knew people that were doing it, you know, as far as talking the talk and you know, being the tough guy, you know, and actually really being the tough guy. And, you know, I don't think he's that guy. My concern is that when he says things, he'll claim, like he says, we did something. Oh, we took him out. We took this thing coming. Like he's like with, and you know whose MO is that? That's Anna Von Wright's MO. That's what she does. You know, she's with the political, because I wrote the letter. You know what I mean? That's what she does. And I see him doing the same thing.
I have one main question. You know, whenever you're seeing people that are talking about these different things and stuff, they're going to, if they are legit, they want you to know they're legit. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to show you documents. They're going to show you pictures. They're going to show you evidence.
Yep.
And when somebody does a 6-hour-long seminar and they have nothing but a whiteboard that they're writing on, they've got nothing else to show. You know, I'm sorry. And, you know, I went to Readscraft myself here a few years ago and I asked her, I said, I've got a question about a couple things that you're talking about here. And I was just wondering where you're finding this information at. And that's right up there, the copy and paste queen. Because she told me, she said, oh, I don't know. I just copy and paste.
Professional student.
I'm sorry. I copy and paste too. You know what else I do? I also copy and paste the link so people can go back and look. Because, hey, I might only share a little bit of, you know, something I copy and paste from. I want people to go back to that link because they're going to find even more knowledge there.
Right. No, exactly right. And that's what this has to do. You know, and one of the things that, and just to be clear, you know, I mean, I stepped down and stopped teaching for a couple of years because everything that I built and all of my paperwork was being tested. And I'll tell you what, this monkey, and he is a monkey. He hasn't walked through fire like I have. He hasn't done what I've done, and he hasn't earned what I've earned. And until somebody can show you that they have done their process and they've perfected their process and they can exactly show you how to do it and nothing's up in the air, nothing's cut and pasted, you got a winner. But until then, keep shopping. Whether it be for me or anybody else, it doesn't matter. I just tell everybody, keep shopping, keep looking for the truth. And, you know, I found the truth by just exactly what you said, Brian. I humbled myself. I took it to Yah. I got obedient. You know what's cool about being obedient? Your Heavenly Father will give you anything you want, pretty much, as long as it doesn't hurt you. Okay?
You know, I do need to make a correction on something that I said as far as showing paperwork. Because I did see a piece of paper that somebody did show, and that was where they actually signed off and put their thumbprint, claiming to be in the service of the Vatican. So, yeah, I gotta make myself.
But you know, I mean, I gotta say, man, it's, you know, this you're gonna get truth from one place, the source. And you know what? Yahweh is gonna send his people and he'll give you that truth. When I came under fire, and I've had 2 counties come after me. That's right. And both of them are sitting over there on their butts and they don't know what just happened. But they know that this status that I have, I earned it and I'm going to keep it. And if you do get your status corrected properly, here's how you're going to know. Somebody's going to want to take it from you. And if they can convict you on something, they're going to take it from you. Even if they got to make up the charges. And that's exactly what they did to me. Twice. Two of them.
Always going to be tested.
That's right.
Always gonna be tested.
So we got to have it
Even Yeshua was tested, was he not?
every time. And you know what? He had an answer. He didn't have to cut and paste anything. He didn't have to Google it either. Because he was living it, man. He was living it.
Hey, he had direct connection to the great oracle.
And he was living it. And as long as we're walking it and we're living it, you can't do nothing else but get a sunburn just with everybody else. And that's what we got to do in this thing. And I'll tell you what, we want to go forward and, and Brian, we'll talk some more about this too, but, we really want to go forward as the House of Yah Community Outreach. We are a full-blown nonprofit. We want to continue to serve Bexar County, all of Texas, all of the United States, anywhere I can be, I want to be there to help. And we want to serve the community. We want to give you guys truth. Yeah, it might cost a little. But you know what? Everything that's worth getting is worth paying for. I promise you that. And when you get...
Did you say Bexar County?
Bexar County, yes.
Oh, so are you going to have the Bexar law firm when Ronnie Davis come out and help you?
Oh, that's who we were talking about tonight. Ronnie Davis.
No, that's a different one. That's somebody. That's another one.
No. Wait, Ronnie Davis? Who is that?
I'll send you something.
Oh my God.
I'll enjoy it.
And he's here in Bexar County?
No, it's the Bexar law firm down here in Florida.
Oh, in Florida. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool, man. That's awesome. Well, definitely, yeah, send me some stuff on that. I'm down on that. And you guys out there, man, if you guys see anything that looks fishy, hey, man, come on the call, man. We'll talk about it. We got a bunch of old guys here. We got gray hair. We got our backs go out more than we do. We're getting old. You know what I'm saying? So you better get that information now while you can. Because if you don't, next week it could be Alzheimer's. I could forget it all. You never know. Two-piece. Yeah, right.
The original OGs right here, man.
That's right.
You can cut me loose and Tim will be jumping on hopefully with me in the next couple weeks.
Yep. I hope so, man. Looking forward to it. All right, man. Well, listen, I'm going to go ahead and shut everything down tonight. Good night, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my guest, everybody. Kurt, and of course, Brian and Chad. We'll see you next week, buddy. Thanks, everybody else, for being here. May Yahweh bless your day, your homes. And if you guys are interested in the upcoming travel class, yeah, you want to learn how to take care of this stuff? You want to see why Bexar County hates me so much? That's why. So send me an instant message. You just might learn something. You guys be super blessed in all you do. Remember that Yahweh loves you. Be well, everyone. Good night.
Good night, bro.
Good night.